this is Stacy McCauley with InspiredHygiene.com, and I am bringing you Rockstar Hygienist trait number 10. Rockstar hygienists always stay current with trends and technology. And when we work with private coaching clients, we work with some teams that have hygienists that are relatively new to the profession. They've only been out of school maybe 2 or 3 years. And we also work with hygienists that are very experienced. They have 30 plus years of experience under their belt. And so regardless of how many years of experience one has, one of the key traits we see as a rock star trait are for hygienists that stay very committed to current trends and technology. So let's think about two different scenarios. So if you're an office manager or you're a dentist and you're going to be interviewing for a currently open position in your hygiene department, it might be helpful for you to ask some very specific questions that are going to be able to assess if this hygienist is staying current with trends. So one question might be, tell me about your CE requirement. And I think it's important for them to actually know how many CE credits they need each year. That's a good indicator that they're staying current. So once they're able to tell you how many credits they need, find out what types of CE programs do you usually attend. Give me some examples of some courses you've recently attended. And so sometimes you'll have a hygienist that says, well, I go to my local dental hygiene component meetings once a month. And it's not that there's anything wrong with that, but a rock star hygienist is one that probably does whatever it takes to get to those big meetings where those hot topics just breaking in dentistry or those hands-on courses are offered. So it might be something to think about, asking what types of CE programs they attend. The other question for an interview candidate might be, tell me about your must-have pieces of technology. And so you might be looking for answers such as, I love my piezoelectric, or I love my ultrasonics, or, I just can't live without my intraoral camera, or maybe it's, I love being able to offer bacterial testing to my patients, or caries detection technology, or maybe it's just, magnification, wearing loupes, something like that. So it gives you an idea of how closely they follow trends in technology by asking those kind of must-have questions. And if the hygienist says, well, my must-haves for technology are, I need my Gracies and I really like coarse prophy paste. Well, it doesn't mean that they're not a good clinician, but what it can be is an indicator that they've kind of fallen behind a bit in trends in technology. So it doesn't mean that they can't become a rock star. I think there's always that potential if they have a really good attitude and they're open to change, that's a rock star in the making. Now, another scenario I'd like to talk about in this week's e-zine might be, how do you bring out your inner rock star in your existing hygiene team? And so one of the things you might want to do is sit down with your team and map out what do we want as far as our requirements for high-level continuing education. Maybe you've noticed a lack of calibration in the hygienist's clinical skills, or maybe the patients always are saying that one of the hygienists is a bit heavy-handed. You might want to look at making a hands-on course a requirement. Every 2 years we're going to go to a hands-on course. Get this mapped out. If you have an employee manual, it's a good idea to get this down on paper. The other thing you might want to consider doing is devising some sort of bonus bucks plan or some sort of incentive program so that the hygienist can earn money toward the purchase of some high pieces of equipment. For example, loupes might be something that goes into the kitty, and the bonus bucks goes into this kitty so that they can purchase magnification. And you've probably heard this statistic, doctors, that 60% of the restorative gets scheduled out of hygiene. So 60% of the work you do in your ops is a direct result of what goes on in hygiene. So if we can have some rock star trend seeker hygienists that are using magnification, they're using bacterial testing, they're very well versed in using powered instrumentation, that tends to increase their ability to help you co-diagnose, not only from a perio side of the equation, but also from a restorative side of the equation as well. Now, if you're interested in learning more about some of these tips, or if you'd like to schedule some phone coaching time with any of us at Inspired Hygiene to talk in more detail about some of the topics we've discussed today, please think about joining our mastermind group. Visit www.inspiredhygiene.com/mastermind to find out more details. Now, it wouldn't be a rockstar moment if I didn't show you one of my rockstar pieces of must-have equipment. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Take care.